leader. Let's just listen to what Jeremy Corbyn had to make of it.
Well, 15 months on since the referendum, and we get to a situation where the Prime Minister faces the reality that she's going to have to look for a transition period. She's had 15 months to think about that, and she goes all the way to Florence, and we didn't even get a chance to see Florence in the background to tell us what we already know. And indeed, it was part of our amendment to the EU withdrawal bill to look for a transition period. It's got to happen.
And what she said about that transition period is that effectively it could mean up to 5 years after the vote, not much has changed. Is that the right approach to a transition?
Well, there has to be a transition period to protect jobs. Our whole point throughout this whole process has been a Brexit that damages employment and jobs is very, very dangerous for everybody in this country. And so that is our basic approach to this.
Mrs May also signalled that she would honour the UK's financial commitments, which could mean some payments possibly post-transition. How much do you think is the right amount to pay the EU?
I don't think it's possible to put a figure on it. Clearly, there are obligations that must be met, and clearly the EU have obligations to make to this country. But this whole speech seemed to me the product of the internal negotiations of the Tory party rather than negotiations with the EU. She, after all, seemed to slap down both Boris and David Davis during the speech.
She did say that they would stick to the principles in the Lancaster House speech, which would mean after the transition, leaving the single market and the customs union. Do you think that's the right thing, or do you think there should be some acceptance of free movement to maintain good access to the single market and the customs union?
There has to be a trade relationship with Europe in the future. Half of all our trade is with the EU. Our manufacturing industry works very closely with the EU, supply chains to both sides of the channel. That's got to be maintained. There are a large number of EU nationals that live and work in this country and make an incredible contribution to it. Without them, all our public services would be much worse off. So, why is she using them as a bargaining chip? Why not do what we did a week after the referendum, which was to say, legislate now to guarantee rights of residence for EU nationals in Britain so they can continue. Because there's stress and tension of families where one partner is from Europe, the other partner from Britain, and they have children here. They need to know they've got security in the future. They haven't got it. She's still using them as a shuttlecock in her negotiations.